and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you all, the people of the tube. Hope today, hope you're feeling grand and Oswald in your world. Hello everybody, welcome to another A&Q Wednesday. Very strange weather today outside. It's like really bright and kind of sunny looking, but raining and dark all at the same time. Bizarre, I tells you. But it is 2020. Anyway, so welcome to another A&Q, everybody. Shall we get to question one? I think we shall. Okay, so question one today is, if you were on a budget but wanted a Jaguar style guitar like John Frusciante's, what would you do? I would go for a Squier, vintage modified. The one I've got, basically. Because they're amazing. And then if I want, because you mentioned in your email you want one like the Fiesta Red one. What I would do is I would go and get like a Squier classic vintage modified. I know you said classic vibe, but classic vibe, they do a classic vibe Jag now, don't they? I'm pretty sure they do. Anyway, but I'll go for the vintage modified. I believe it's cheaper and they're amazing. My white Jag is incredible. I love that guitar. So what would I do? I would go out and get one of those and I would just respray it myself, which is what I did to mine. Mine was originally surf green and I wanted a white one, so I stripped off the green and just resprayed it white, basically. If that feels like too much of a job, I don't really know. I mean, you might just have to kind of settle for a colour. Because I know vintage modifieds come in green, and I think they do a white. I forget. I'm pretty sure they do a white, and I don't know all the colours they do. I don't know. I know there's not a lot of budget Fiesta Red Jaguars with matching headstocks. Revelation do a Jag style guitar with being Fiesta Red. I can't talk today. Maybe I'm trying to speak too fast. Let's slow down a bit. Okay. Revelation, the guitar company Revelation, they do a Fiesta Red Jaguar style guitar, but it's a thin line and it's double bound. And it's humbuckers as well. It's not really single coils. It doesn't really have the Jag sound. So what I would do, like I say, is I would go for like the vintage modified Jag, and I would just kind of respray it. I would take it apart and respray it. But bearing that in mind, Jaguars are a nightmare to kind of take apart. There's a lot going on in them because of all the switching. There's a lot of wires. So if you're not overly confident with that, I would maybe just kind of recommend you find a colour you like and kind of settle for it, like white or green or whatever. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm pretty sure they don't do a red, but I could be totally wrong on that. Let's have a quick look quickly. We have the power to quickly look these up. Okay, so Google Squier vintage modified Jaguar. Oh look, lo and behold, he's searched for it before everybody. So you do get white, you get sunburst, white, and green by the looks of it, and that's about all. Oh no, you do also get a red one, but it's candy apple red. That's the only problem with it. It's not Fiesta Red, but you know, it is in the ballpark. So you can get candy apple red Squier vintage modified. Like I say, mine was green. I didn't want green. I wanted white. But I couldn't afford to buy it new. I had to buy it second hand, so I had to just refinish it. Anyway, so that's what I would do. If I couldn't afford to get the Fiesta Red one, I'd probably just like go for the next best thing, and I would go Squier vintage modified. I mean, classic. They do a classic vibe Jag now, though, don't they? So what's wrong with this carpet? Okay, one second, everybody. Why is it whenever you need your phone, it just decides to become an asthmatic ant with a heart condition? And it goes, no, you know what? I don't fancy really working today. I just want to be a bit of a git. And I can't spell either. That's dyslexia for you. Classic Vibe Jag. So yeah, they don't do it in red. There's black. Black looks really cool. I've always thought black Jaguars look super cool, but yeah. So black and green and sunburst, and that's about as far as you can go with it. So I would go vintage modified and just get the red one. I mean, it's candy apple red. It's not Fiesta Red. It's not the same red at all. But you know, if you are on a budget and you wanted a Jag like John's, And that's probably like that's probably about as close as you're gonna get, because nowhere really does Fiesta Red Jaguars. For some reason, I don't know why, because Fiesta Red is probably one of the most gorgeous colours on a Jag. So I don't really know why people don't. I don't really know why people don't do that. It's weird. I don't understand. But that's what I would do. I would go the Squire Classic Vintage Modified one. Or if you want to spend a bit more money, you can get Classic Vibe, but Classic Vibe don't do red, as far as I could see. If I'm wrong, people of the tube, correct me in the comment sections below. But that's what I would do. Failing that, no, can't think of anything else. I can't think of any other. The only other company I know does Fiesta Red kind of Jag kind of copies is Revelation. But like I said, I don't think they do. They don't have that Jaguar sound because they've got different pickups. They're not mainly humbuckers and stuff like that. But there are amazing guitars. So I don't know. Maybe look into that. I don't know. But again, totally different wiring. It's almost like a Jazzmaster in a way, but not quite. But I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, that's what I would do. Classic, vintage modified all the way. So, hope that's this question. I'm going to move on to question 2 now. Question 2. Fender Strat or Oswald S Type? Which one would you pick? Oswald. No ifs, no buts. Nick has just got it when it comes down to building guitars. I recently tried my friend Ian, James Stewart. He recently bought a white over 3-ton Sunburst Oswald S Type, and it's just incredible. He loves it as well, and it really is like insanely. What an amazing guitar! I have not tried a guitar from Nick that I haven't fallen in love with. Obviously, I've fallen in love with some guitars more than others, definitely, but every single one of those guitars that I've tried of Nick's just made me just kind of like, just blows my mind. Blows my mind. I absolutely adore them. So I would go for one of Nick's guitars over a Fender, just because, again, Nick's got something. He's got that extra percentage that some Fenders don't have, and the man's a master. He really is, and it's just awesome, and I just love his guitars. So for me, it'd be an Oswald because they're just amazing. I love the ones I've got. I love the ones I've played. I love the ones I see. They're just ridiculous. I'm gonna go and visit him next year. Hopefully, spring next year there'll be a road trip to visit Mr. Nick. So and I'll be taking the first Oswald he ever made me back to him to show him how it's aging, because it looks a lot older than it is for a 2017 guitar. So basically like 3 years old, give or take. It'll be probably 4 by then. It's aging really well, and it just looks ace. I love it. It's one of my favourite guitars of all time. So for me, it'd be an Oswald S Type. Fender Strat. I mean, I love Fender. I really do love Fender, but it can be a bit hit and miss sometimes. Whereas with Nick, you spec the guitar. He builds you what you want. You know what I mean? So I've always loved that idea, and every time I've gone to Nick with some crazy idea or gone, I kind of want this and this, every time I get it, it's perfect. When we designed the Telecaster, the Oswald Telecaster that I've got with the the Strat contours and the replica of my white Strat's neck, and also it being thinner than a usual Telecaster and not being so kind of like blocky and bulky. When that guitar arrived, it was just perfect, and it is still perfect. It's the only Telecaster I'll ever need. I don't have any desire to own any other Telecaster. I love Telecasters to bits, but my Oswald Telly is all I want. That is literally all I need. I don't need another Telecaster in my life. It's just perfect. So same thing with the Strats as well. I do. The red one is definitely my all-time favourite S-Type that I've got, but it's the John Frusciante one and the first ever Oswald are not a million miles behind it. They're like half a step back. The red one's got something a little extra. I don't know what that is, or why. It just does. It's just got real power to it. That guitar has. It's just unreal. It's just unreal. It really is. Because it's right up there with my white Strat and the 62. It's insane. It really is. So, So which one I pick? Yeah, it'd be the Oswald. I love Nick's guitars. You know, he's a wicked person. I love him as a human. And I love his guitars. And it's insane. You know, the man's a genius. Absolute genius. And a master at what he does. His guitars just have something that some Fenders don't have. You know, I can't say all Fenders, but, you know, I can't get my words out right to articulate how much I love Nick's guitars. But yeah, hopefully that comes across anyway. But yeah, that's what I would pick personally, because I think they're just incredible and I love them to bits. Okay, so yeah, that'd be the reason why. Okay, so move on to question 3. We are rocketing today. This could be the shortest A&Q Wednesday ever done. What do you reckon? Maybe. Let's find out. Okay, I just had to pause there just to extend it a bit. Anyway, question 3 is: have you done a video on speakers, and do you have a preferred speaker? I'm trying to talk too fast today. I think that's why I'm jumbling my words. Have I done a video on speakers? No. I've spoke about speakers in the past. I do have a preference on speakers. My favourite speaker of all time is the G1275Ts that you get in the JCM 900 cab. I just love them. They're just my favourite speaker of all time. You get a really smooth response and you get a lot of kind of like power from them, because being a 75 watt speaker, you get a lot of oomph from them. You know, the cab is, what is it? I can't remember what the JCM 900 cab is. Like 250 watt or 230 watt or something like that. I can't do the maths because I'm dyslexic and stupid. So, but yeah, I love the G1275Ts. I just love the smoothness of the response. I have tried a lot of speakers in my time, obviously playing different things, and I know what I like and I know what I don't like. I don't really like vintage 30s. I don't like 25 watt greenbacks, really, to be honest with you. They have a fizzle in them, like a kind of a fizz in the sound that I really don't get on with. The 75s don't have that. In my Carlsbro amp, I have a Celestion G12 100. It's basically a 100 watt speaker, weighs a ton, and it sounds great, but the mid-range on it is so strong, it makes the amp very kind of clunky. But it's a great speaker nonetheless, but it's got a very strong mid-range to it, that speaker. The 75 seems to have a more even response in the highs, mids and the lows, but can go crazy mid, crazy high, crazy low if you want them to, which I really love. They kind of cover all spectrums. I've tried a couple of others. I've tried a couple of creamback speakers. I don't really like them. Again, the response doesn't feel right. The closest speaker I've found to the G1275 is the speaker that kind of like I kind of grew up listening to, which is the Celestion MG speakers inside the old MG cabs I've got. Both my MG cabs are from 2004. I want to say the B cab's from 2005, but I'm pretty positive it isn't. I'm pretty sure it's a 2004 cab. I know for a fact my A cab is 2004. The B cab I got the same year, so it's got to be the same year. But I could be wrong. But either way, they're the same speakers. They're the Celestion G12 MG speakers. I think they're a 65 watt. No, they're not a 65 watt speaker, are they? Hang on a minute. I need my calculator to do the mathematicals. Okay, so what's the cab rated at? Oh my god, why did it do that? I hate technology because it hates me. Okay, I think they could be, yeah, judging by that, maybe they're about a 40 watt speaker. I forget offhand, but I think the MGs did have, because the MG 100 combo had a 100 watt Celestion speaker. I'm pretty sure the MG 250 had two 70 watt speakers. I could be wrong. I don't remember 100%. But I know for a fact the ones in my cab are, I don't know for a fact at all, actually, because that's totally, because you don't know, do you? But whatever, you know. Oh, is it 120 they're rated at? If they're 120, what would that make it? 25? 30 watt. No, yeah. Okay, so yeah, there'll be a 30. Yeah, yes, it's 120. Okay, so I remembered. I got there in the end. The MG cabs that I've got are rated at 120 watts, which means they're all those four speakers, sorry, are rated at 30 watt speakers. So they're all 30 watt speakers. I really love them. They're amazing cabinet. The old MG, not the new ones. After when they discontinued the MG that I love to do the new MG, they put a new speaker in there, and I don't think it's a Celestion because it's just unbranded in the new cabs, and they sound terrible. They sound really thin and waspy, and just, there's no low end, there's no mids. It's just wasp, and I really don't like them. But the older Marshall cabs, 2004, 2005. They're amazing. Also, the speakers in the Marshall valve state cabinets, they're amazing. The speakers in the Marshall AVT cabs are not bad, but the valve state cabs are definitely better. But the ones I prefer are the MGs. So you kind of get in a hierarchy. It's like the G1275Ts, and then it's the MGs, and then whatever. But I do have two Celestion Marshall Heritage speakers. They're really good as well. They're not my favourite. They break up far too easy. They're a 75 watt speaker, and they've got a bit of a kind of a breakup issue. I don't know if it's just the two I bought or what it is, but the two Celestion Marshall Heritage speakers that I've got, they're inside my old battered up 70s cab. They're really good. They're not bad. I do like them. Not as much as my MGs or thing like that. My orange cab has two MG speakers in it. They're not. I didn't like the Voice of the World speakers like at all. I didn't get on with them at all. They had a fizz that I really didn't like, and I took them out. Good gravy. How many years ago? I don't remember. Crikey. Probably about 2016 or 15. Well, many years ago, I took the Voice of the World speakers out of my orange cab because I just don't like them. I don't like the sound, and I don't think they do the CR120 any justice whatsoever. And for a while, I had 4 G1275s in there. Then I ruined my back carrying Marshall cabs and orange cabs to a gig, and then I switched them out to a 212. So my orange cab is just a 212. It's just running 2 speakers, and they're the 70 watt MG speakers. Though they're not the 30 watters. They're a different watt, and I've got it rated at 8 ohms. I've got it running at 8 ohms, or is it 16 ohms? Sorry, I do apologise. I've got that cab running at 16 ohm. I really like 16 ohm. I don't really like 4 ohm. 4 ohm sounds really bright and obnoxious and harsh. 8 ohm's okay. I don't mind running at 8 ohm. My Marshall MG cabs run at 8 ohm. But my favourite ohmage is 16 ohm. It just gives you a bit more kind of warmth and smoothness and niceness in general. But speaker-wise, they're my favourites. I've never done a video really explaining speakers or this, that, and the other, because I'm not that. It'd be like what I'm just saying now. So, and I've spoke about this before about what my favourite speakers are. So I don't really have any desire to do any kind of speaker kind of videos. Really, there's no kind of point. But yeah, so they're my favourite speakers, and that's the reason why. But I've never really done a video like going into mass detail about it. But that's the reason. It's just what appeals to me. It's like in certain sounds I can hear in certain amps and certain speakers and certain cabinets, pedals, whatever, even guitars. There'll be a frequency that sticks out to me, and sometimes I can't get over that frequency. Sometimes it's just kind of like, it's like somebody's doing this in my ear, and it's really horrible, and I don't like it. It's like somebody just going, ha, 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 poke him. It's just really annoying, and it gets dead in my face. I used to have a Marshall AX cab with the checkerboard front, and I got rid of that because it had the greenback 25 watts. And although it sounded good, it had a fizz in the speaker. It's like this zzz, kind of like white noisy sound in over the top, and it drove me mad. So I eventually traded that. Well, I traded it, but I sold my Marshall JCM 900B cab to my friend Ian, and then I went and bought the AX, And then after a while of using the AX, I wanted the 900 back, so I traded Ian for the 900. We just did a kind of a swap basically, and I got the 900 back. But then I eventually sold the 900B cab because I'm stupid, and I shouldn't have done that. Oh, whoa. I didn't need to sell the 900 cab either, and I don't know why I did sell it, because it was an amazing cab. The B cab was amazing. And I could have bought it back a couple of years ago, but it's gone. But such is life. Anyway, like I say, we've all got those mistakes we make. But yeah, so there you go. I hope that's answered your question. But I haven't done a video on speakers, no. I've spoke about A&Qs a few times. But do I prefer to speaker? Yes, it's the G1275Ts. I love those. They just kind of like, they've just got the response and the tonality and the warmth that I love, especially running them at 16 ohm. I always run my JSM 900 cab at 16 ohm. I plug all my amps into it at 16 ohm. It just sounds amazing. I mean, you lose a bit of power running because the CR120 is rated at, I think it's rated at 16 ohm actually, or is it 8? I forget. I think it's you're not allowed, you can't plug anything lower than 8 ohms for the CR120, but I think that is a 16 ohm output actually. I could be totally wrong. I know it's anything less than 8 is a no, but I'm pretty sure the CR120 is a 16 ohm head, so that works really well. And again, they just match each other. So with the G12, if Orange are listening, the G1275 Celestions work so well with the Orange CR120. They're the speaker I would recommend. If you've got the CR120, that's the speaker I'd recommend, because it's just insanely good with that amp. They just make it sing. The Voice of the World speakers don't do that amp any favours, in my opinion. In all fairness, I think they hinder the amp massively with its tone. They don't sound horrific, but they don't sound great, in my opinion. But the G1275s are amazing. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, I could talk about that all day. So I'm gonna stop there. So yeah, I hope that's such a question. Yeah, and yeah, let's move on to final question today. Question 4. Question 4 is, what's the best budget Strats? What budget Strats are best for a Jimi Hendrix / John Frusciante tone? Probably Revelation. There's also the Squire Bullet's probably the most budget friendly John Frusciante Jimi Hendrix guitar. Squire Bullets are amazing. I will rave about Squire Bullets for as long as I live. If you have a bit more of a budget and you want something a little bit more, you could go for a Revelation. They do amazing. There's the, I can't remember what the thing is, but it's like a 62 Strat copy. There's also Classic Vibe. Classic Vibes are amazing. Plus you can get the 70s Classic Vibe with a big headstock for Jimmy, so quids in. I can't recommend vintage, unfortunately, just because I played a few recently and I was shocked. I do have my friend Bob, the legend that is Bob, gave me a V6 Icon, but it's an old one, and the old ones are just so much better. I don't know what vintage have done, but my God, something's gone wrong. With the gold top that I had recently, and also some others that I tried recently, I was just appalled. I just couldn't believe it. I can't recommend them anymore. If you can find an old V6 Icon, vintage V6 Icon, the black one, or in all fairness, any old vintage, like if I like from 2012, 13 kind of time, then they're all amazing. But 50 up to like maybe about 2015, 16. But something happened around that time. But yeah, so if you can find an old vintage V6 Icon, they're amazing for John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix. I mean, I love mine. I'm so happy to have one back in my life again. I will be going to see, I will be playing and you will be seeing my old one. My old one lives down in the south of France with my friends, so I'll be seeing that one soon. Which is very exciting. Looking forward to seeing him again. So Squire Bullet will probably be the most budget-friendly guitar for John and Jimmy. It just does the job. It really just does the job. It's an amazing guitar for the money. They sound great, they play great, they feel great, they sing. they're amazing. They're amazing. The necks are amazing. They feel amazing. Yes, the bodies are skinny, but it's not really an issue. They're just amazing guitars, and I would highly recommend them any day of the week. So so that's what I'd recommend. Revelation, like I say, if you've got a bit more money, Revelation do like a Strat copy, and they're amazing as well. And I really should have kept the one they sent me. It was a blue, Daphne blue with maple neck. Why didn't I keep it? Why didn't I buy it? I'm an idiot. Then also there's obviously Classic Vibe as well. Classic Vibe are amazing. I wouldn't go Squire Affinity. Squire Affinity are a bit iffy on the pickup front. Sometimes they can be good, sometimes they can be bad. But I've had more bad affinities than I've had good affinities, pickup-wise. Playing-wise, setup-wise, feel-wise, affinities are great, but their pickups always seem to be really hit and miss. You know, you can change them, but, you know, it's up to you, really, that one kind of thing. I mean, I really like tweaking too much. If a guitar's good, I don't really mess with it. It is what it is. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. There's SX. SX do some, SX do some good guitars. I would recommend others before SX because of my experience with SX. I had a black one that was terrible. It took me a long time to get it to play right. I don't have it anymore. I gave it to my friend Bob. Trying to think if there's any others. Harley Benton, of course. Doy. I can't believe I'm glad I've remembered. Harley Benton. I mean, the only thing I didn't like about the one I had was the neck being an absolute tree trunk. But once I got that thing down to a place where I was comfortable with it, I loved that guitar. And I kind of wish I hadn't sold it. Again, I don't know. But, yeah, Harley Benton as well. So maybe check all them out. Like I say, the most budget-friendly guitar out of all them, though, is Squire Bullet. And I'd recommend that because it's amazing. But I can recommend Revelation, Harley Benton, Squire Classic Vibes, SX guitars. I think there's any others. No, I can't think of any others at this point in time. I'm sure there is, but I can't think of any. No, I can't think of any. But anyway, people with a tube, if you can think of any other kind of budget models that do the John Frusciante / Jimi Hendrix kind of thing really well that I haven't mentioned, let us know in the comment section below because I swear I'm pretty positive I'm missing a few out. So, but yeah, that's what I would recommend because they're just amazing. And yeah, because you obviously to do the Jimi thing, you need a tremolo. You don't necessarily need a tremolo for John Frusciante. John does use the tremolo like a madman, but you can get around John's stuff very easily by using a hardtail. Jimi, you really need the trem, and the Squire Bullet's trem works really well. It does work really well. It's really nice. If you get it set up right, it's nice and it does its job. It probably won't last as long as like a full size zinc block or a steel block trem, but it'll do the job. As long as you're not absolutely hammering on it and jumping on the guitar, it'll take some punishment. I can tell you that. It's amazing. They feel great. They do feel really great. So yes, that's what I would recommend there as budget Strats go. But I say the Squire Bullet is right up there. If you're on a budget, like a tight budget, Squire Bullet, can't really go wrong. You really can't. Amazing guitars. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Crikey. Okay, so anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this A&Q Wednesday. I hope I answered your questions okay, and I hope all is well. As usual, there's the fear going. You didn't explain well enough, Dave, and you didn't do it. Cheers. Anyway, so yes. So if you want to submit a question for your A&Q Wednesday, description box below has an email link. Just email me there and send me the question over. I answer questions sequentially. I don't just go pick and choose. The only time I pick and choose is if I've answered a question kind of multiple times before. You know what I mean? If I've answered the question before, I most probably won't answer it again because I've probably done it a couple of times. So you might have to go trawling back. I know there's a lot of A&Qs, and I do apologise, but the answer will probably be in there somewhere. There's so many. I don't know how many I've done, but it's a lot. But yeah, so is there anything else I need to say? I don't think there is. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this vid, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this A&Q, and I'll see you again for another vid on Friday. I don't know what it is at this point in time. I've got it written down on my calendar, but I can't think because I'm not in my calendar. That's why I write it down, because then I don't have to think. Anyway, weirdness aside, thank you very much for watching everybody. I'll see you again soon. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. Thank you very much indeed. Ha ha!